If you do not leave every conversation with that person being absolutely obsessed with you, that means you're not that good of a communicator. But fear not, these are the subtle social secrets that will completely change the way you interact with other human beings.
Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. It's your host London Lamborghini, and in today's video we are talking all about networking for black women at work or outside of the office. Get ready to take notes. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's get into the video.
If you do not leave every conversation with that person being absolutely obsessed with you, that means you're not that good of a communicator. But fear not, these are the subtle social secrets that will completely change the way you interact with other human beings. Number one, and this should be obvious, but you need to start beginning every single conversation with someone, especially someone you don't know, with a compliment. It will automatically lower their defenses and just make you more likable to them. What they're wearing, what phone case they have, their Zoom background if it's virtual. Essentially start every single conversation on a high note. Next, you need to start vocalizing your agreement with what someone is saying. If you're having a conversation with someone and they say something that you agree with, make sure you say that. Make sure you reinforce their own thoughts. Now, of course, only do this if you actually agree. I'm not telling you to just blindly agree with everything that everyone says, but if you agree with it, let them know. Master the signals and signs of nonverbal communication. I could do an entire post on this itself, but the easy things are maintain eye contact and make sure your physical body is faced towards them. So take your feet and make sure they're literally pointed towards the person you're talking to. Now, this last one is going to make a couple of you upset with me, but I don't care. You need to also start tracking either a mental file or, if you're really bad about it, a physical written down file of facts and figures about the people you're connecting with the most often. I'm talking about birthdays, job updates, little facts about their personal life that you can bring up that just makes it seem as if you got this incredible memory and you know everything about everyone you've ever spoken to. If you want to learn more of these subtle secrets of communication, follow for more.
So the thing about social climbing is a lot of people think that it is this crazy and scandalous thing, when in reality, a lot of people do it and it's more common than you think. First of all, social climbing and networking is one and the same. I think that social climbing happens when networking is done right. And a lot of rich people, specifically white people, do it. When those parents want their kids to get into certain schools and colleges, when they want them to hang around with certain students and play certain sports, getting into gated communities and private social clubs and country clubs where you have to actually know someone to get in. Also, creating allies with your colleagues and bosses and other people in your industry so you can get a promotion. This is all networking. But the true difference between networking and social climbing is that social climbing has nothing to do with work, and it's you leveling up socially. And this can mean dating or marrying up and having friends in higher places and connecting with their friends. So we all do it. Don't feel guilty. It's literally just how society works.
I've gotten so many great questions around mentorship, how to find a mentor, what to look for, what to talk to them about, etc. So this will be a mentorship 101, best practices, how to find a mentor, Q&A, all your questions answered. The number one question I got is how to find a mentor and what to look for. The best way to go about finding mentors is either through work, your alma mater, so that's where you went to high school, college, etc. Any sort of education that you've gotten, reach out to those people. Galas, being on social boards, junior boards, conferences, events, etc. My main thing around finding a mentor is you just want to be in the same room with them. Visibility is incredibly important. If they see you at a conference that they're at 4 or 5 times, or at a social event or a gala, and you have been in the same room 4 or 5 times, they're going to see you and be like, okay, who is this person? I've seen her a couple times before. I would do this exercise like a couple times throughout my career. I would go on LinkedIn and find women who I wanted to emulate, whose careers I really liked. And this can be socially, this could be relationally, like they have a social life that I want to emulate, etc. And I would print out their LinkedIn. And if they were in a position that I wanted to be in 5 to 10 years, then I know that they were a good potential target as a mentor. Okay, the next question is from someone named FG, and they said, what do you talk to this mentor about? Like, how do you begin to cultivate this relationship? People will want to mentor people that they see themselves in. So most of the people that have taken me on as a mentee are people who either we have mutual friends, we were introduced by friends, we are in the same spaces all the time, we vacation in the same spaces. They'll see me on Martha's Vineyard year over year. Like, they're just like, okay, I've seen this girl before. She reminds me of myself. We have some overlapping connections. This makes sense. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Most people are going to say no when it comes to mentoring you, especially very successful people. They just don't have the time. They don't have the capacity. It's not necessarily realistic for them to mentor every single person that reaches out. So be prepared for the no. But the most important part of this is that people will want to mentor people who they know will be successful. It's almost like investing in a company or a product. Like, you're not going to invest in a company that you know is not going to do well. The same thing with mentorship. People are going to invest in mentees that they know there's going to be an ROI for them. So honestly, finding a mentor, 60% of the process of finding a mentor is actually what you do before you even reach out to your mentor. Okay, I realized I didn't answer the question in that last one, but that was still good advice. But I'm gonna answer it now. Pamela Lee TV said, how do you leverage your relationship? Like, what do you talk to them about? How do you make it a worthwhile experience? I think there's sort of two parts to mentorships. It's updating and ROI. So for an update, I used to send out quarterly updates that would just have like an update about my life. It would be work wins, projects that I'm working on at work, if I got any promotions or started a new role. And then the second part would be like my social updates. So I'm on the board of this, or I'm running a marathon, whatever that looks like for you. The ROI piece is the most important piece though. So when I'm sending these updates, I would always send along an article that would be relevant to their industry. So I would say, hey, I think you should check this article out. Or I would send something like, if I'm hosting an event for work and we need senior level women to speak on a panel and it'd be a great visibility opportunity for them, I would say, hey, can I ask you to speak on this panel? Or just like general insights. You'd be surprised at what some of these women are interested in terms of what they deem as ROI. You might not be able to give them like career advice or be able to provide them with opportunities that they can't get, but a lot of them ask me like, who's your favorite dermatologist in the city, or like, which workout classes do you like to do? So figure out what their their definition of ROI is and be able to provide that to them. Some people will reach out to me and be like, hey, can we talk? And it's like, okay, but about what? So make sure that you're asking very specifically, like, hey, I have this question, I'm trying to navigate my relationship with my manager, do you have 10 minutes? Be intentional with either an ask, advice, or even an invitation. Like, and you can also always end with like, is there anyone else you think I should know? I hope this helps.
This is how you're gonna build your network from the ground up. So I just made a video talking about how my friend group looked completely different 3 years ago and how I leveled up my connections. So I'm gonna teach you guys exact steps on how I did that. I'm gonna let my concealer sit for a little bit, but basically after I started my business, I looked for every single entrepreneurship group that was specific to my niche. So I looked for women entrepreneurship groups, beauty and health entrepreneurship groups, and I joined all of them. I applied for some of them, and this is how I actually met a lot of entrepreneurs in my community. After I would meet these people, I would reach out to them via email and be like, hey, do you want to meet for like 15 minutes via Zoom? This is a great way to personalize the connection with people and to really build that rapport with people. Also, showing up as an asset, providing resources and value yourself is going to help a lot in this process. Pro tip, make sure you put things on the calendar. People who are busy don't have time to be going back and forth, so immediately put something on the calendar once you guys both agree on a time. And the last step is to rinse and repeat. I did this for about a year and my friends look completely different now. My networks have expanded. It's really awkward to put yourself out there like that, but I promise you guys it is worth it. So let me know if you guys have any other questions down below.
Let's talk about networking. Networking is so important because you literally don't know who you might meet that can help you reach your goals. You know that saying, it's not about what you know, it's who you know? A lot of times that's true. I have been to 3 networking events just this month, and I have met 2 people who are potential clients for my business outside of my job. I also found a new potential nail tech. You don't have to work a corporate job to go to any networking event. How do I find these events? You can look on Facebook. The city that you live in, the city should have a website. So check the website for any type of networking events that they might have. If you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, Cosign Magazine has networking events all the time. Also, Women Already Connected is a really good one that I just found out about. Once you start meeting people, you'll really start knowing where events are. How do you get over the awkwardness of going to a networking event? Honestly, I have yet to been to a networking event by myself. 9 times out of 10, I usually know someone who's going. So I'll reach out to them ahead of time and ask them if they want to go together. Kind of helps to have someone to go with you, so you're not like standing around awkward if you aren't comfortable kind of just going up to people by yourself. I feel like a lot of people think that networking events are this super like formal thing, and it's not. It's actually very casual. It's not meant to be formal, but professional. I will literally put on like a nice cute button up top, some jeans, and maybe a little kitten heel. So when you go to these networking events, my best advice is talk to as many people as you can. That's what you're there for. You're there to meet people. You never know who you're going to meet or run into that can help you later on, or who you might be able to provide value to. It'd be a little bit intimidating going into a networking event and everybody is talking and you just really don't know where to start. But keep in mind, everybody is there to meet new people. If people are rude or weird or standoffish, that's literally just a reflection of them. But when you go to a networking event, 9 times out of 10, people are so nice. I've never ever been anywhere where someone was weird or rude or just like super standoffish. How do you approach people? You literally just approach them. People love talking about themselves. So if you open the conversation asking them about themselves, how they got into the industry that they got into, maybe where they're from, those are kind of icebreakers. And once the conversation starts flowing, then it just flows. My last piece of advice for networking events: take business cards. If you don't have a business card, get a dot. It's literally electronic business card, and people can tap their phone on it and your information will save in their phone. But it is so important to take a business card so people can, one, remember you, but be able to contact you if they ever need you for something.
Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. Let me know in the comments, what networking successes have you had throughout your career? Are you at the beginning of your career? Let me know in the comments. Again, thank you to all the new subscribers. I love each and every one of you. Tune back in tomorrow for a new video, and see you in the next video.